Just waiting for a few more people to join us today across the country. The entire country's in lockdown. Good God. um, just hi Heather. Can you hear us? Are you all good?
Yeah. Hello, how are you?
Arjun, how are you?
Very good, thank you. I'm from
Yeah,
Melbourne.
you're from
Yeah,
Melbourne.
yeah.
Also in lockdown. Damn.
Yeah, lockdown, that's right.
Another lockdown. Seventh.
Yeah, 7 days lockdown. That's
My
right.
God, when is this thing gonna end? But we're just waiting for people to. There's a few people online today across the country. Um, Heather's online as well. I can see Heather's online. So Heather's our guest of honor today. But so hey Heather, how are you?
Good. So I've actually just joined you guys in lockdown today. I live in Newcastle and we went 364 days without a case. And as of yesterday, we're now in lockdown.
Well, you know who to blame. Yeah, I heard on the news. Yeah,
there was a beach party. A bunch of kids came up from Sydney beach party.
Right. Yeah, look, cool. Our sincere empathies and
I know, I feel for you guys.
Look, we're okay. I'm sitting on the Gold Coast at the moment, so we're about to hopefully, fingers crossed, get out of lockdown on Sunday. But we'll see what happens. I mean,
I hope you guys do.
Yeah, look, we've tried to do everything for the guys in Sydney and especially Melbourne, especially Sydney. My God.
Yeah. I know.
Yeah, doing a few training sessions, masterclass.com, all that kind of stuff, you know, free Archie Star. But anyway, so we're going to start the session.
Perfect.
So we've got quite a few people around the country. What I'm going to do is going to allow Heather to. Did you have a slide or do you want to just have a chat?
I don't, because you sent the link to me via text message and I just got off another meeting. So I'm only on my phone, not on my computer, because I didn't get the link to my computer.
No problem. We can probably co-host it together. So there's a few people online today. Basically, the session is to introduce, obviously, Heather, which is the National Training Director for OutSource.
Yes.
And we've actually got this calendar thing here, Heather. I don't know if Tanya, the CEO's told you, but we've obviously got a lot of people around the country, you know, 650 something now. But basically, every Friday we have something, and this is a training session to go through finance.
Yep.
So we put through this calendar thing so you can see, you know, so at the moment we've got about 30 brokers. There's people that want to join us, I suppose, people that are new to the industry, people that are experienced. So I guess just a quick intro to everyone. Where is everyone new to broking or experienced? Andrew, are you new? New, experienced? Stephen, Trenny, Shiv? Who's
regard. What's your name? You said.
What's my name?
Yes.
Dr. Paul Howe. I'm
Dr.
You probably came from like a CCAT or something. That's all good. I'm the founder. I'm the founder of Oxbridge.
Oh, okay.
That's all good. So we've got like CCATs running at the moment. Obviously, brokers and stuff like that joining us.
Okay.
So this session is about obviously introducing brokering and how it works.
Yeah.
For those people around the country who have a real estate qualification already, we have a lot of agents with a finance qualification as well. And I think that's a really, really powerful combination because obviously the real estate side, you're looking at the seller's leads. The broking side, you're looking at the buyer's leads, right? So you can work both sides. We've got so many buyer's leads at the moment. It's crazy. There's so many buyers out there. Not enough sellers, right? So it's a lister's market. We list, we sell. It's that simple. So a few, Trini, yes. Okay, so a few brokers already, experienced brokers. That's good. Okay, so I'm going to quickly introduce, and I'll pass it over to Heather, and Heather can obviously introduce herself and what she does for with Oxbridge. But basically, look, to get into the broking industry, it's very, very, very easy. It's even much easier than real estate. Like and cheaper. There's no fair trading, there's no, multiple state registration, no corporate license, no trust account. There's no, you have to have a listing form, a selling form. This one certificate gets you a license, I suppose, to practice finance around the country. And we have nothing to do with the RAAA. There's just an independent training organization, but this is the cheapest we've found so far, $244.50 for a certificate, which is pretty cheap. Once you get it, you apply to a financial institution or financial sort of association, and we are part of the FDAA. And that's probably the easier one to get into. And obviously, Heather can talk about that too. But once you get into that, we sign, OutSource signs, and then you come under our program to start doing brokering. Brokering is pretty cool. Obviously, we've got some really, really good brokers in the company already doing really good income. So with the real estate and the finance, you get double the income, right? And this is kind of our program. We give you sort of free training. There is a minimum 2-year requirement for finance, but once you get that 2 years, you become a fully fledged broker. So that's one thing, and then Heather can talk about that too. Another thing that's different with us is we are a private funder. So as I said, my background's in finance, in funds management. I was a hedge fund manager for a while in London. My PhD from Cambridge is in quantitative finance, and this is what I used to do overseas. So this is our private fund, and again, we deal with exclusively our own brokers first as a priority. So if you have a deal that you want to find money for, especially developers are our favorite. The mortgage stuff we go through OutSource, but developers is our favorite because with developers, not only do we get the funding, you make a brokering commission, the sales exit, the rental exit is exclusively yours. And that's far, 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 far more than your commission for the brokering. A good example is a recent deal we did, 250 lot subdivision. The guy wanted something like 3 million. The brokering is probably 30, 50,000, like that. But the sales exit, 5.5%, right, on each lot, plus the commission from the builder is a lot of money. So that's kind of the idea, right? So that's why I think knowing finance can definitely give you more opportunities to make more money. So I'm going to pass over to Heather, and then maybe Heather can talk about OutSource and what she does and all that kind of stuff. You can ask any questions. I'll pass it over to you, Heather.
Mute. Sorry. Hello, everybody. It's really great to see you, Paul. I hope I am going to do okay today. I didn't actually know that this is what this meeting was for, so hopefully I can be prepared enough to go through things with you guys. I thought you and I were meeting and I was saying hi to the team. That's all right.
Oh, good. Just a quick intro. We know so much about you already. Look at this, man. We know you won a few awards, and you're amazing. What I think a BOQ or something, and Westpac, and a whole bunch of stuff, right? Yeah. Go for it.
So I guess to let you know who I am, my name is Heather Gallagher. I'm the head of education and training for OutSource Financial. So OutSource Financial is a boutique aggregator. Award-winning. And so what an aggregator is, just for those of you who may not understand and be familiar with the industry, an aggregator is the middle ground between a broker and the banks. So we take care of getting you accredited with the lenders. We're responsible for making sure you're compliant, your coaching, your training, your development, and support that you need. We also provide your software. So that's what an aggregator does. And so I'm a head of education and training. I'm also the state manager for New South Wales, ACT, and SA. So if you happen to be brokers in those states and you're joining, you'll be dealing with me in 2 capacities. So when you become a mortgage broker, what's involved? So doing your certificate 4 is the first requirement, as Paul was talking about. You can do that through a number of different places. There are a number of different ways to do it. I suggest you find whichever one works the best for you and is the best suited for you and what you're wanting to get out of that and your background and experience. Then you join something like the FBAA. And if you are joining OutSource and being mentored by us, it has to be the FBAA. I am a registered mentor with the FBAA. So if you're joining us, you need FBAA. Once you join OutSource, we actually have an obligation as your mentor to mentor you and coach you for the first 2 years. We have an obligation to ASIC and to the lenders and the industry associations. And I've actually designed and developed a fully comprehensive training program for the first 12 months that you go through. During the first 12 months, you have the first 4 sessions are fortnightly and they're for 4 hours. They are conducted via Zoom nationally with lots of other stuff involved in that. And then the other sessions for the rest of the year are monthly for 4 hours. So when you think about the time commitment and what you need to be able to do, mortgage broking is no longer something that you can do in your spare time while you have a full-time PAYG job that doesn't let you do this. You need to be able to have the time to commit to it. You'll need to be able to attend lender webinars and training sessions and be able to be flexible and ready to go when a lender rings you and needs something. It is a really rewarding career. It can be tough. I want to be really clear for those of you guys who are considering this or are new. It's not super easy to be a mortgage broker, but it's really rewarding. You're helping a client achieve their dreams, be it their first home, an upgrade for their family that gives them some more room, creating wealth through property investment, whatever it might be. I've been in the finance industry now for about 15 years. I actually started off writing home loans myself for 5 years with Westpac. I've spent time at another aggregator. I've worked for both Westpac and BOQ in the brokerage space. And I've been here at OutSource for about 2.5 years. And once you get into this broker space, if you love it, it's the perfect place to be. It's a really fun job. The other thing I would say about it that's really great is there is flexibility. I know, talking to a couple of brokers that I know, one of the reasons they've left doing other things and joined broking is that they don't want to miss the school play ever again. And they don't want to miss the soccer game ever again. So there is ability in this industry to be as busy and as flexible as you want to be once you're kind of up and running. I'm happy to answer any questions anybody has. I'm pretty good at answering questions without notice, so you can feel free to ask me anything.
Yeah, hi, Hita. Now,
Hi,
regarding myself, so actually I'm pretty much new into this industry. I just finished the course. Actually, I haven't even got my certificate in my hand yet.
Yeah.
So this looks like pretty much suit for me, this program, like Paul has discussed right now, like working for the real estate or working for the finance at the same time. So during this lockdown period, so I have finished both the courses together parallelly. So certificate 4 in property services in real estate, plus this the mortgage as well. So if you can explain to us or explain to me, like while you are delivering this speech, step by step towards how to become successful mortgage broking. So that would be very great.
So how to become a successful mortgage broker?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I probably don't have enough time to do all of that, but let me just give you, let me just give you, I guess, some of the things that you need to think about to be a successful mortgage broker. You need to think about, where is your business going to come from?
Yeah.
And I know that a lot of people, when they start out, and look, it's different when you're looking at a parallel career where you're going to be 2 things. But again, where are your listings going to come from? Where are your clients going to come from? All of that. You need to think about, where's your deal going to come from? And I want to be really clear with all of you guys who are new. When you think about mortgage broking, you can build a really successful pipeline, but it does take a little bit of time for those things to settle. So just to be aware of that. So think about where your business is going to come from. Think about who your clients might be. Think about what's the time that you're going to have to invest in the process. Those are the things that you need to think about. And you need to be not shy to tell people what you do. One of the things I see happen with new mortgage brokers all the time that frustrates them is they find out that a friend or a former colleague or a family member has got a mortgage through somebody else. And they're thinking, I told you I was a mortgage broker. Why don't you remember? So you need to be able to have some self-promotion. You need to be a little bit of an extrovert. It is a sales role. Mortgage is It might be technical, it might be lending, but it is sales. So you've got to have that kind of acumen to be really successful. And the other thing I think you have to be is curious about people. Mortgage broking is a lot about asking questions and uncovering information about your client. And the most successful mortgage brokers I know are really curious people. We're kind of nosy. We ask a lot of questions. I hope that gives you at least a little bit of an answer. Who else has questions for me? Anybody else?
Can I just jump in there, Heather? Sorry about that.
Yeah.
So just to let you know, Andrew, so the thing we have is obviously, because we are also a real estate agency, right? This database is absolutely huge, right? If you get listings through a project or whatever, once you get a listing, the buyers automatically become your future clients. Right, that's the first thing. So I think in brokering, one of the most important things is find leads. Lead generation is very, very important, building a pipeline. So that's the first thing. So the CRM, both for the brokering and for the real estate, is the first source of leads. The other thing that we have is the two patterns that we've got, right? And I've constantly talked about this. These two patterns will help you, right? The first pattern I said before is every single for sale by owner, for rent by owner in the country, right? And that's very, very useful because a seller could be also a buyer could also be a seller. If you're a buyer, potentially you're looking at brokering services. That's another thing. The second lead thing here that we've got, the 7 Ds. Again, use that. There's a training session today at 12:30, looking at the 7 Ds, every single development in the country, the DA, every single death, every single divorce, every single distance lead, all these 7 Ds you can potentially use as your lead gen. And I think that's probably right, Heather. Lead gen is probably one of the most important things in brokering.
Yeah, it's thinking about how and where you're going to get your clients. What's going to be your strategy? And for every broker, that can be different. It depends on their background, where they come from, what success means to them, and what it looks like. And so there are lots of different avenues and lots of different ways to do that. Absolutely. But the number one thing that brokers think about is, where am I going to get my business?
Oh, perfect. Great. Any other questions?
Steven, did you have a question? Just because I saw you popped your camera.
Yeah, Heather, I'll just have a question. I've just joined Oxbridge and had a few conversations with Paul. I'm very excited with Oxbridge because it has that financial side of it. Now, as a real estate agent, I've dealt with mainly as a buyer agent and off-market properties. And what I found was a lot of the developers and that they would say, well, has your client got, their finance approved? So now that I have this opportunity, it's the one-stop shop. I can actually do their finance, be a mortgage broker for them. So then I know that they have their finance approved, and I don't have to wait for them to send a letter. And also we're dealing with clients, and it's one way of getting out there. If someone comes to you looking for a mortgage, we're obviously looking to buy a property, so you can add on the buyer's agent. Well, who's looking for you? So I'm only new. I want to do my certificate, so I'm happy to exchange details at the end with yourself.
So go ahead and work through all that. Keep talking to Paul about that. So Paul would be your on the ground contact for that. I run all of the training. And so once you've got yourself set up, you'll be in my mentoring program, and Paul would still be. So Paul, for those of you who don't know, is our Queensland and WA state manager. That's Paul Marshall. So Paul would still be your on the ground contact for scenarios and support. And I run all of the national training. Okay,
I'm familiar with the FBAA, so being a member of the FBAA doesn't faze me. They are one of the, if not the biggest, organisations in mortgage broking. So happy to be on board and looking forward to being mentored by yourself.
Get your Cert 4 done so you can come join me. We can have some fun.
Yep. Now I'll take my ugly head off the camera. All right.
Oh, never. Other questions? Other questions, anyone?
I have a question.
Yes.
I have I did a certificate to get my BAS agent's license a couple of years ago. Is that a similar sort of license, or do I have to do a whole new certificate for?
What's a BAS? That's an accounting
BAS agent.
I don't know what that is.
Okay, it's a totally different. Okay, that's okay.
Is that accounting? Is that real? What is that?
It's
Oh, yeah. So no,
accounting.
nothing. Yeah, that's a totally different qualification. Yeah. Nothing to do with mortgages or real estate.
Okay, no worries. All right,
Great.
thanks.
Any other questions for me? Paul, do you have any questions for me?
I think Trini has a question. Trini, did you want to ask your question? Or maybe I'll ask Trini. Trini asks.
Yes.
Go for it.
Hi, Paul. Sorry,
Hello.
I've been off for a while. It's a family matter and lockdown, so I haven't done much work, but need to
No
get back
problem.
to it.
No problem.
Anyway, can the real estate agent act as the broker service at the same time for a deal, or it will be a conflict of interest in this regard? Because I got a lot of buyer, I qualify them if they're not, and I have to refer and I have to find out and all that. So now by this financial service I can provide at the same time, would there be a conflict of interest or not? As a real estate agent provide that product at like, of the plane or whatever, or the sales.
So under best interests duty, it's been made very clear that if you are a mortgage broker and a real estate agent for the same property, you can't do both. Bid and ASIC are very clear about that. It doesn't mean you can't offer both services. It means you can't do both.
Or as long as I hold the license or the certificate, then I can provide both. Yeah, does that make sense?
Not for the same property. No.
Not for the same property.
No.
Oh,
you can't.
I'm probably a bit confused.
That's all right. I'll clarify everything with Paul and get him to share that out with all of you.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah. So if you're the listing agent,
yeah,
you cannot be the broker for that particular property. But it doesn't mean if the buyer doesn't buy the property, it doesn't mean you cannot do the brokering for that buyer.
Okay. I'll just get some lead because I got a lot of leads, but these leads that go somewhere to go astray.
That's it. That's the problem.
So many leads that I have. Most of them buying, but they haven't got a broker. They're still thinking about it.
That's it.
That opportunity for me to
100%.
help them in the property sales side, and yeah, I got it. So
Yeah,
not on the same transaction, yeah, for both.
Not on the same property. So if you got so we've got so many buyer leads at the moment. LCR is getting
so
swamped.
much. It's so much.
Yeah.
So if you have 25 buyer leads and one of them buys the property, those other 24 buyers, you can do the brokering service.
Got on you. Got you, Bong. Got you.
Got it.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Definitely. And
thank you so much.
Yeah, ASIC made that really clear and the government when they brought out bid around what they call conflicted remuneration. And the good thing for you when you join us and become a broker, we go through all of that in a lot of detail for you just to make sure that you don't, because you never want to run afoul of ASIC, right, Paul? Like that's the worst thing you ever want to do.
You don't have police powers.
Do that. And look, guys, being our head of education and training and being one of the senior leaders here at OutSource Financial, I've sat in meetings at ASIC when we've had conversations about this, not in a negative way, but just clarifying and things like that. And they are pretty crystal clear about it. It's oops, sorry, I just hit the wrong thing. It's about putting the consumer's interests first. But we help you with all that to make sure you don't break rules.
Definitely. Thank you, Heather. Thank you, Paul.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, Heather. This is Jaffa.
Yes.
I'm actually from Melbourne, from Victoria.
Hi.
Yes, very good. On the same note, I've got this query. If suppose you are actually working for the same agency like Oxbridge and you have so many agents, one of the agent actually listing the property, can you help the agent from the same business in actually brokering the finance?
You can, as long as you're not making a profit off the property. So there's no referral thing going back and forth. You can do one or the other. You can't. And what we mean by that is you get paid for one or the other, you can't get paid for both on the same deal.
Okay. So as long as there's no financial transaction coming through for the same property,
yes,
you're okay to help from the finance dealing
absolutely.
perspective.
And that's why it's good to be part of a group. It's because you can meet all those obligations and rules.
Yep. And the other thing, I may have missed the first half of the presentation. As a new broker, I've actually had the qualifications, but I wasn't actually able to get proper what we call mentoring, and that's why I've actually put this on hold, and then realized that now Oxbridge can provide some mentoring. So is this something? Are you part of the Oxbridge, or you are external to Oxbridge?
So we are OutSource Financial. We are an aggregator. So when you said you were a broker before, which aggregator were you through?
This is something that I have to finalize on, because there are some company that provide both mentoring and aggregator. It's getting confusing. So that's why
we are an aggregator.
So
I
you're
am an aggregator. Yes.
Yep. So you're an aggregator, and if I have to, I think I've seen an email that Oxbridge, since they're in the finance side of it as well, so they can provide mentoring. So do you accept as an aggregator? Do you accept Oxbridge as a mentor?
No, I am the mentor for the Oxford.
A bit confused now.
She's the mentor.
I'm the mentor. I'm
Yeah.
the head of education and training. Yeah,
Yeah.
we spent about 10 minutes talking about this at the beginning of the session.
Yeah, I must have missed that part. That's why
Yeah, yeah.
I was
That's
That's
all right.
okay.
Yeah. So no,
No, aggregators are very,
I'm
very
the head-
powerful.
at the aggregator.
Yep. There's so many big aggregators, and I've tried to get so many different ideas like mortgage choice and this and that. And at the end, I got myself confused. So I just put it on hold until I saw this email that, oh, yep, that's good. Oxbridge is also into that. So that will be very handy.
Yeah.
So I
Excellent.
understand that now.
So
I have
I
a
just have
question.
Sorry, Stephen, you have a question?
yeah, sorry, Hal, I just want to confirm. I just threw me a curveball then. Just want to clarify. So if I'm doing the mortgage brokering, can I be the buyer's agent for that person?
You cannot be paid twice for the same transaction. So you
So
can
I
be,
can't-
you can't be paid multiple times for the same transaction. It's a conflict of interest.
So I can't be the buyer's agent even.
Not if you're getting paid for it.
Okay. Well, yeah, I don't do much for free.
So that's that. Yeah, and talk to Paul about how they're structuring all of that. But ASIC is really clear that you can only get paid for one component of the transaction.
Even if you don't, even if you disclose it, yeah.
Yep. When it comes
Okay.
to real estate, yes. And
I'll have
broking.
to get Paul's number or contact details off at the end or whatever, or off Paul from Oxbridge.
Yeah, absolutely. They can clarify all that for you.
Okay. Thank you.
Thanks.
Are there any
All
other
right, Paul.
questions?
Yes,
Anything
I
else?
do.
Oh,
Yeah, go ahead.
Matt,
It's Matt here. Yeah. Could I ask the training or mentoring that you mentioned? Can you just tell us a bit more about that? And also for the 2-year period, so the second year, what is the training component? How does that work? And then during that 2-year period, is there an expectation in terms of certain objectives that need to be met in terms of actual sales, or how will that work? And is there any cost associated with that?
Yes, so it's a lot of questions. I'll go through the ones I can answer easily right now. So when it comes to the 12 months, what the 12-month program goes through, it's everything from compliance and software training, structuring deal, lender submission notes, diversification opportunities such as asset and consumer lending, insurance sales, things like that. It covers, we've got some business development and marketing yourself and your own personal branding training involved in all of that. It's everything you need to know to become a mortgage broker. It includes, as you get into the second year, you start to learn things about commercial lending, SMSF, that kind of thing. In the second year, you don't have formal training with me. It's more coaching and small opportunities at your state level. We have state managers in looking after Queensland and WA, New South Wales, ACT and SA, and then also VicTaz. So, and we've now got a broker in Northern Territory. So we are everywhere in the country now. So there is a full program that continues on after that. Around targets and things like that, if you are part of Oxbridge, I am sure that Paul that's something that you would talk to them about. And when it comes to commission splits, et cetera, that would be something you would speak to Paul about as well.
and it's complimentary to Matt.
Yeah, we don't talk but it is mandatory attendance. And I will tell you guys, I'm a hard teacher. It is mandatory attendance because we have obligations to the FBAA, aggregate lenders, and the ASIC. So you miss one session, you get a warning. You miss two sessions, and your membership and brokerage is canceled at OutSource Financial. So you have to attend your mentoring, not an obligation, not an option.
Perfect.
And
Wow.
we just canceled 12 people who've been kind of playing around with us for the last 3 months. We gave them a little bit of an extra chance even,
Yeah.
but
Wow.
they're not attending. they're not brokers anymore.
Wow. I think a lot of,
It's
yeah, I had this, just correct me if I'm wrong, a lot of aggregators charge for these things, right? They charge
yeah, a
for
lot of
mentoring.
aggregators charge lots of money, so they don't actually care too much whether you're successful or not, because they're going to make money off you whether you are or not. We are not a flat fee model, we're a commission split model. So if you're not writing business, we make no money.
Yeah.
And we provide mentoring complimentary to you. So it's in our interest to get you writing loans.
Perfect.
So Heather,
Okay.
Yes.
good morning. This is Ash here. Just wondering, like, to become a mortgage broker, is this Cert 4 is more than enough, or do we need to go for
A Cert
diploma
4
at
is
one
the
stage?
minimum. Yeah. So a Cert 4 is the minimum requirement. There are a number of lenders right now who will not accredit you when you're in your first year of broking, or they require you to have a diploma before you can get accredited. So you need a Cert 4 to join, but my recommendation is always to everybody is to get your diploma in the first 2 years, because you can't have lenders like BOQ, CBA, et cetera, unless you've got a diploma. And CBA will not accredit you for the first year. After the first year, they will accredit you only if you've got a diploma. BankWest will accredit you straight away, but you must get a diploma in the first 12 months. So that's always my recommendation, is to get your diploma. Not to start with, but you need to get it.
Okay, thank you. And Paul, good morning. I saw the fee for Cert 4. Would you please make some arrangement for diploma as well?
Yeah, we have a relationship with the REAA. Yeah, of course. There was always discount codes and stuff like that. We always buy in bulk.
Yeah, that's
Of
true.
course.
So then in that case, we only need to enroll for diploma, and we'll cover the basic as well.
Yes.
Thank Paul.
Easy.
Thank Heather.
Thank you.
So Heather, this is Zafar here again from Victoria. So just on that same note, you may have answered it in the first session. So if you have to enroll, if you have already got the diploma, so there are some documentation you have to complete. So is this something we'll get provided so we can enroll ourselves as part of the, as a new broker?
Absolutely. So reach out to Paul at Oxbridge, and he will organize to get you connected with us and get you set up as a broker under Oxbridge with us. And then we give you a whole document that tells you everything you need to do. There's a number of things you need to do just besides get your Cert 4 and FBAA. You need to organize your PA, your ABN, your PA, your PI insurance, your ABN, AFCA. There's a bunch of things. We've got a checklist that we send you once you're ready to sign up.
Yep. Absolutely, absolutely. So as I can understand, you'll be like a commission split model.
Yeah.
So is this something that will get provided? What sort of commission splits, like 80-20, 90-10?
You'll need to speak to Paul from Oxbridge about what the agreement arrangements are. That they have that agreement because you're under the group.
Yeah. Oh, we'll talk about that later.
No problem. Sounds like a plan.
Heather's a very busy person.
I know.
Yeah, no, and I don't know what your agreements are with people, so I couldn't speak to that.
No, that's all good. It's because I've been through so many different broker. I got myself confused. They all have different sort of strategy.
Yeah, that's
So
why
it's
it's
good
really
to know.
important to find the one that works for you.
Yep. No, that absolutely makes sense.
Hi Heather, what is the time frame to finish the certificate?
It depends on how motivated you are.
Okay.
I think the REA one is pretty bloody easy from what I know. I don't know that
it is
very hard.
Okay.
And I also, to be really honest, I don't know that it teaches you very much either, because it is pretty cheap. But to be clear about that, guys,
Sure.
and I think you can do it pretty fast.
That's good. Now I can talk to all the buyers that been
That's
sitting
true.
there doing
That's
nothing.
true. Yeah. Perfect. Yeah.
Thanks.
Yeah. Cool. Anyone else? Any questions? Okay.
Excellent. Well, I will head off then to my next meeting. And Paul, let's
Thanks,
do
Heather.
time for us to catch up and think about how we do some strategies working forward to. Good luck to you all, and I hope I see you in a mentoring session soon.
Thanks, Heather.
Thank you.
Thanks, Heather.
Thanks,
Nice
Heather.
to be here.
Bye,
Paul,
Heather.
Paul, can I
Thanks,
talk to you,
Heather.
Paul?
Yeah. Okay. So
Okay.
the thing that was Heather. Heather is
Yeah.
obviously national director for the aggregate outsource.
Yeah.
There's actually a lot of aggregators out there. I don't know if people know, but all the different aggregators offer different things.
Yeah.
I actually had a few. I had Finsure, I had Connective. I know AFG. I've got brokers from AFG. So I kind of know what each aggregator offers. An aggregator is kind of like the company that puts all the different lenders together, right? So the banks, the private funders don't talk to brokers individually. They go through someone like OutSource that puts all the funders together in a panel, and all the aggregators are very similar. They've got similar lenders, and it really doesn't really matter which aggregator you go through. I think even the software is fairly similar. The CRM is fairly similar. We've got brokers writing really good volume at the moment. Good money, and I guess because they also real estate, that kind of helps them. Yeah, but can I take any questions from anyone about anything at all?
Yeah, Paul. Oh, sorry.
So Ajahn, go for it.
Okay, Paul. Like I just finished my course at 4 in this mortgage broking.
Yeah.
So what is next now? So what I have to do with you, like how I can join with Oxbridge, and also the commission things as well. Can you please explain how much the cost involved first of all after finishing my course to join with Oxbridge, and also the commission that we are giving?
Yeah, perfect. Let's take one step before. For people that haven't done the course, Heather was saying, what Heather said was definitely right. I would definitely suggest something like the diploma. The diploma is like a full license in real estate. In real estate, man, if I had to choose between someone's got a full license and just a sales certificate, I would choose a full license any day, because you've done more work. You're kind of like a higher level. The different fair traders around the country kind of recognize you as more knowledge. So the diploma, and you can look at this, right? It's called Diploma Mortgage Broking. And I really don't mind which RTO or college you go through, but the cheapest definitely is these guys here. This is actually owned by a company called Coronas in Queensland. I've got no affiliation with Coronas, except the fact they're cheap and they're fast. All right. And that's the thing. It's up to you what you want to do. Some people like to go through the REIs, the INSWs, IIQ, IIV to get the full license. That's perfectly fine. People think that's the gold standard. Maybe so, but a lot of people opt for the reverse, which is get the license, get out quick and start making money, right? If you want that, then I would definitely recommend someone like this.
Which one?
And Heather's perfectly right. It's cheap, it's fast, it's quick. I wouldn't say it's the gold standard, but it gets you there. You will get a diploma or a certificate. And then once you get that, what you do is we then need to sponsor you. So we'll put your name forward. There's no fair trading, no consumer affairs, all that rubbish, right? It's actually a self-regulated industry, which is kind of cool because you're not going to get a call from fair trading ask you to explain where your listing is, right? You're not going to get that. But the FBAA and the MFAA are two of the largest associations in the country. The FBAA is preferred because it's bigger. FBAA is much bigger than MFAA. We prefer the FBAA. What happens is we will sponsor you to the FBAA. You need to be a member to be FBAA for two reasons. One, the lenders wouldn't let you write loans unless you're a member. And two, professional indemnity. We will cover your professional indemnity, right, your insurance. And that's very, very important. So if you get sued by a client, this person is a bit annoyed because you told this person the wrong thing or whatever, they chose the wrong product. There was clawback. That's another thing that happens a lot. Then you either need to, if you go to court, right, what you need to do is obviously you have to rely on the insurance company, and they've got lawyers that deals with this, and they will step in. And that's very, very important, just like real estate, right? Exactly like real estate. It's not if, but when. And you obviously, not many people get taken to court, but you got to protect yourself. So that's the first thing. We will send you a document. Obviously, you'll get sponsored. They do these guys do the standard check. So these guys are like fair trading, right? You need to send a police certificate. Another thing that they do is a credit check. It's very, very, very important. Obviously, if you're brokering for someone, your credit needs to be good. And we've already got access to things like Equifax. We can actually check your credit score way before you apply to be a member. So, if there's any red flags and payouts on credit cards, any defaults, you can get that cleared pretty quickly. All right, that kind of stuff. So the next step, Arjun, is to, once you get your certificate or your diploma, you apply to the FBAA. They'll ask for a whole bunch of documents, your police check, 3 month, I think, validity.
So Paul, this one, so you'll be organizing everything.
We organize everything. Yeah, we organize everything.
Okay.
Yeah. And so it's totally free. Like there's no charge or anything. There's no month. There's nothing, right? We'll give you all the software. You go for it. The mentoring, as I said, we've organized with OutSource to be a free mentoring program. Connective, for example, charges a lot of money because that's how they make money, right? Because they know, you know, to be a broker for the next 2 years, right? They can charge you money because you're desperate to get that 2 years under your belt. So you can be a fully fledged broker. It's like in New South Wales, class 2, class 1. A lot of people charge for the class 2 to class 1 upgrade to full license, right? But we don't care. We just, you know, you go for it. I sign off when you're ready. And that's kind of the idea, right? So you just need to, you join as an associate member. So Heather, and we actually deal directly with the CEO of the company, Tanya, which is really why I quite like OutSource. You know, I had Connective, I had Finshore, all these others. The Finshore is very big, and so is Connective. I can never speak to the CEO, whereas this is a bit smaller, and we can speak to the CEO. I'll also be a mentor as well. So eventually, when you finish, I'll sign off, and OutSource will sign off, and then you become a fully fledged broker. That's how it works, right?
Sorry, Paul. So at the moment to start with to do the certificate and then gradually go to diploma.
Yes.
To be able to working in this industry.
Yes.
At this stage. So a certificate still allow you to work, right?
Certificate is fine. Yeah. I mean, yeah. What Heather's saying is true, right? A diploma does open more doors, but you really, I don't know. Most of the lenders are fine with certificate. They're fine with a certificate, really.
Are you okay with that? With Heather okay with the certificate? So,
absolutely.
Because we were focused on more real estate at the moment, but we don't want to lose all that 24 clients sitting there where we can persuade them to come back to it, even though they have. I have persuade quite a few to go to another referral client. So because of the real estate side, so able to persuade them to come back to really not go through them, the other would come to me, to my referral. So with a certificate, I can work.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, because a lot of real estate agents don't understand finance. You know, I hate, like, I can see the CRM, right? All these CRM with all these leads coming from real estate domain. These are your future brokering clients. And people don't use that. Most agents go, oh, I don't care about buyers. All I care is for sellers.
No, Paul, we don't have that resort like you now, you know. You really bring something. I have something like that in my head about 10 years ago. And so how do we get, but you make it all one-stop shop, which is great.
We try.
Thank you.
But certificates enough for the FBAA. The MFAA, the other one, requires a diploma. And that's another thing, right? And there's people argue about which one's better, but it really doesn't matter. As long as you're a member, you can do brokering. Okay. The other thing, any other questions before I will talk about more stuff?
Yeah. So Paul, again, the same thing. So once we become FBAA member, so what next?
Yeah. What's next? Then you need to actually do some brokering. Okay. So that's about money, right? So I mean, in terms of practical, I mean, the best thing is, right? The thing about, I'll pick any random listing, you know. So, you know, if you're a real estate agent, you should know, right? All the buyers come in through inquiry. So this is an inquiry. This is a Queensland listing. Every single inquiry you get, you give them a call. So this person here, Rishi Thingel, is inquiring about this property in Bow Desert. And you give a call, right? You say, look, you know, do you need brokering services? And they might say, yeah, sure. I haven't really thought about that. And you meet them or Zoom them, whatever, go to a coffee club, right? And all you have to do is, obviously, there's a few documents they have to sign before they do anything.
So we get the number available, Paul, this Rishi's number?
Yeah, this is so I don't know if you know, but Oxbridge has tons of projects.
Okay.
So the step-by-step, someone's playing with this. The step-by-step guide is basically listings isn't a problem. So this is a new agent. I think Michelle knows this. I've already given this guy just joined us from another company. And obviously I've said to John, I met John yesterday, here's a listing for you. Because we have so many projects, right? And I can see he's putting up his listings right now. That's good to see. I think this is Matthews, this is Victoria. So that's a listing. Every single listing you get, there's buyers inquiries that come in. Every single buy inquiry is a potential client. And that's the point, right? Because you are attached to a real estate agency and some of your real estate agents, it makes it much, much easier. Like this property I knew for a fact, I don't know how many buyer requests are there, like thousands. I heard it was thousands. This is one of my agents. This property had multiple offers, was sold within an hour. This is crazy. Look at all these listings. This is all the inquiries that came in, every single one. And yes, ASIC says you cannot broker on the actual buyer that buys the property, 100%. But right, this one buyer may buy the property. What about all these other guys here? These are your potential clients, every single one of them, right? Money-wise, brokering. Okay, so there's two types of brokering. There's mortgage, which is obviously, mums and dads, and there's even different type of mortgages. I think we ran a session maybe 3 months ago, Lloyd Doc versus full doc, self-managed super fund versus corporate trustees versus trusts. There's a whole bunch of stuff that you just have to pick up. What's a corporate trustee? Why is that different to an individual buying it? And I've always said to everyone, I never buy things in my own name. And that's because, I'm a business owner, right? I am running a business, and, in business, conflict is inevitable, stuff like that. So I never buy stuff in my personal name. But there's pros and cons about that, right? Which I think this guy talked about. But there's different types of loans you can get, Lloyd Doc, full doc, you buy through a trust, buy through a self-managed super fund, whole bunch of stuff, right? This is the first type. It's called mortgage. The second type is private finance, and this is the cooler side.
Yep.
So the private finance side, we're just one private funders, many private funders out there, some with massive amounts of money. Our funding, I would say, is mediocre. I wouldn't say we're the biggest, but we're sizable, right? It's 150 million bucks in the fund, and it's all investors and that kind of stuff. But there's people like Trilogy, they've got, I don't know how many, 1 billion or something. There's super funds out there. They invest in stuff like projects, right? Because the idea of a fund is to make the maximum return for the people that put the money into the fund, right? And these days, money is cheap. If you're putting your money in the bank, you're getting 0.01% interest, right? So a lot of the funders, what they do is to look for other type of investment. So a great type of investment is something like a developer. It's safe. Why is it safe? Because you're secured against an asset, right? It's a piece of land. You only do 60% LVR. If the market crashes, at least you'll get your money back. That's kind of the idea. That's why we're giving out 47% return. And if you're interested in running funds, we can talk about that. But basically, a fund is a whole bunch of people, usually people with some money, put their funds together. We manage it for them. Obviously, we lend the money out to developers. And this is private finance because it's private, right? We don't go through banks. We're like a bank, but we don't have a banking license, but it's private finance. The commission on this is much bigger. The average commission for mortgages upfront is between, I would say, I don't know, 7,000 to 15, 18, 20,000 even, depending how big the size of the deal is. And that's called the upfront, for those that's new to the industry. That's why when you see splits, those are two numbers. Those two numbers, the first number is the upfront, the second number is the trail, right? That's the cool thing about mortgage broking. You get a trail. Wow. And the trail is great because it's true passive income. When your clients pay their monthly mortgage payments to the banks or wherever, you get paid forever for the entirety of that loan if that loan stays with the client. And that's the point. If you get 100 of these, you can sit there, do nothing, go on holiday, and still get paid. Right. And that's why, I always say to people that cash flow quadrant thing, right? You need to start building an asset. It's all good to, go out there and make sales. But if there's a lockdown, you ain't selling. Money's not coming in.
Absolutely.
Right. So you're relying on things like mortgage trails and property management, which is your passive income. Are there any questions I can answer before you go on?
Yeah, so this is the things I looking for. So to become a member, what's the cost at FBA, the mentoring cost, aggregator cost? These are the things.
Mentoring is free.
Mentoring is free.
Usually, I think Connective charges $5,000 a year. Don't quote me. AFG, or something like that. But we kind of worked out a deal with them because obviously we're a lot bigger than most brokerage firms.
So mentoring free means the Heather will be the mentor.
Yeah.
Right?
Heather will be a mentor. Yeah, Heather, myself will be the mentor. Heather's more the sort of your Zoom and knowledge. Myself, another broker in the business, she will be like your trainer. So she looks after your documents. You know, if you got a document you're submitting to Westpac, you got to make sure that's right. You know, if it's wrong, and that's a serious offense. If you're lying on stuff like that in your applications, that is a serious offense, right? You can go to prison for that, right? It's fraud. So things like that, right? So the cost wise, we don't charge anything, but the aggregator charges $140 a month plus GST. You can do your research. All aggregators will charge you a monthly, and that's just for the CRM. Yeah. Right. And again, it's like, don't start brokering unless you've got clients. Don't start paying the 140 unless you're ready. You don't need the 140 unless you want to start doing something. Got me? You can sit there, do nothing, don't pay anything. And then obviously when you're ready to do something, start paying that to OutSource. That's not us, that's OutSource, right? Other people, I think Connective is 350 or something like that. AFG is about 350 as well. So it's one of the cheapest that we found, right? And that's all you need. And that's it. That's it. Insurance will cover. So just like the real estate, insurance will cover. The most important insurance you'll get is the professional indemnity insurance, which covers up to 6 million. In other words, if you get sued, you know, if it's less than 6 million, the insurance company will jump in and cover you. Okay.
So it means, Paul, so paying aggregator fee $140 for GST, that should be enough. So if I go with 80% split, so I don't have to pay $50 a month for my mentoring fee that's mentioned here on the first bullet point.
That's only if you want to go up. That's only for the very successful aggregators, very successful brokers. Sorry.
So it means after 2 years, so full membership, so 90%, no monthly fee. It means only I have to pay $140 aggregator fee. That's all.
CRM, yeah, but don't pay that until you're ready. You know, that's the thing. You know, all the documents you need, we've got. You know, how to sign people up and all that kind of stuff. You only pay that fee when you're about to put through that loan through the aggregator, because they charge that for the software, right? So the commission
is it, Paul, aggregator fee means, is it paying monthly basis or is it for case by case basis?
Monthly. They charge monthly.
Monthly basis.
Monthly. Yeah, they
so
charge
once I join with the aggregator, it means the OutSource financial. So let's assume from August or September. So it means I have to pay 140 plus GST every month.
When you are writing, when you are accessing the software, yes. You don't have to pay it if you don't accessing the software. Got me?
what do you mean? Like if I don't use aggregator for in the month of October?
Yeah, it's like Eagles, right? You don't have to pay the Eagles fee.
Yeah.
If you're not doing any real estate.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same principle.
Okay.
Yeah. So that's the thing, to keep your costs low. If you're starting a business, man, keep your costs low.
So to make myself more clear, okay, Paul, if I don't use aggregator for October and November, let's assume, so I don't have to pay 140 for 2 months.
Yeah, that's right. Here's the thing, right? If you write something, right? If you get your first deal, right, they will start paying you trails.
Yeah.
Right. That trail, because they're paying you trail, you probably need to pay that fee. What I'm saying is, don't pay the fee until you've got your first brokerage. Get me?
Yeah.
You just have to sit there for 2 years. Unfortunately, that's the nature of the industry. You just have to sit there for 2 years until you're a fully fledged broker. It's a bit like the class 2, class 1 kind of business. Right? Very similar.
Or when you say you go and write deal, how are we going to do write deal?
How do you write deals? Very easy. Very easy. So
the certificate will teach me how to write deal?
Yeah.
No,
It's just
knowledge.
well, yes and no. So obviously the certificate gives you the theory.
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
You kind of need the theory, but
No,
like real estate,
practical important. Yeah.
yeah, like real estate, the practice is the part. That's why I think, you know, REAA is enough, right? You don't need to do a PhD in brokering and get out there and do it. You just need to have the basic knowledge, get it fulfilled. Yeah, the practice is very easy. In some respects, it's easier than real estate. There's no opens, there's no viewings. Yes, there are forms to complete. Yes, there's checks that need to be done. There's actually a processing arm as well. So the processing arm is very, very important. Things like doing the checks and, you know, doing the standard forms and stuff like that, getting information from the client. That's all your standard procedures. So you meet someone, you ask them a few basic questions, they sign a few forms, you look at the best deal for them on a laptop. If you get a laptop, and the software allows you to see which lender offers the best products, and depending on are they business owners, are they employees, you know, what's their situation, what's the OVR, what's the equity, that kind of stuff, then you can do the brokering. It's that simple.
So that when you say that you got a software, but that is the outsourced software, we're gonna pay 140 for that anyway to be able to say that.
When you start brokering, yeah, when you do your first deal. That's correct.
Right.
Yeah, that's correct.
Okay.
Yeah.
So meantime for us now is to what? Like, I've got people, actually got people that I could ring up and find out, but how do I'm going to complete that part just like real estate, you know what I mean? So.
Yeah. There's another method, and that is don't do the brokering yourself. Get someone else to do the brokering for you. And because we have brokers already in the business, you can actually refer that deal to the broker. But not every broker is going to pay you a trail.
That's it.
Right?
Yeah,
because what happens is, right, technically, if you refer that buyer to the broker then controls the buyer. Yeah. Right. Yeah. The broker is obviously is going to get paid first. Right. And then you split with whoever the broker is. Right. So it's like the broker is the principal listing agent. If you get what I mean.
Yeah.
Okay. That's kind of the idea. Are there any more?
Paul,
yeah.
Just a quick question.
Stephen, yes.
ASIC won't let me broker and sell the property. How far removed does the broker have to be?
That's not correct.
Can my wife do it?
No. ASIC wouldn't allow you to involve the same person in the same transaction.
But if my wife did her mortgage broker license, would she be able to do it if she's not connected to the company?
Yeah, absolutely. As long as arm's length, right? And obviously it's your wife, but so that's that's subjective how arm's length that is. But obviously, if it's arm's length, sure, why not? Yeah, but
I just want to know if it breaks ASICs, because if I want to do the real estate, and I can do the brokerage as well, because as you said, only one person buys the property. But if the wife can do it, well, and she's not a member of my company, but would there be a conflict of interest?
As long as it's arm's length, yeah. That's it. But doesn't stop you brokering the other 24 buyers that made the inquiry on that property. That's what I mean. Yeah. I could do the other 24, but at the end of the day, whether I'm bringing in the income or the wife's bringing in the income, it still comes in the same household. I just can't get divorced. That's correct. That's correct. Yeah. Look, and this is where I think, if you do the course, you understand, limited liability, corporate trustee, so an example I always give people is, even though you're a natural person, so you're Stephen, right? You are actually different to Stephen, the company as a director, and Stephen, the company that manages the trust. That's also very different, right? Stephen, the company that manages the trust, that has beneficiary in the trust, that has a unit holder. That's also very different. So it's all legal stuff, right? It's basically, you want to protect your assets and stuff like that, and tax minimization. This is all the stuff that I think the course will teach you.
I just don't want ASIC coming after me. That's frightening.
ASIC has police powers too. You have to be careful. Ali does have police powers.
Well, you lose everything, don't you? You lose your propriety. You lose your business. You lose everything.
Paul, at the moment, I might have quite a number of. Now that you make me looking at the 24 buyer that's that I have that which has not been looked after. Who is can I refer or have someone to work along initially now?
I'll introduce someone to you. I know
Okay.
exactly someone. Yeah, Huey is very good. You know, he's a top broker. Speaks multiple languages.
What language do you speak? Like multiple Vietnamese? Do you have anyone speak
Yeah,
Vietnamese?
he speaks Vietnamese. He speaks Mandarin. He speaks, I think, Cantonese. He speaks
Oh,
multiple
wonderful,
languages. Yeah,
wonderful.
he lives in Fairfield. Like, look, he's a top broker. You know, he's a top broker. He's very, very good. Very nice
Okay.
guy. Very
Okay.
smooth. Well educated. Got a master's. All that kind of stuff. Yeah, definitely.
Okay. Yeah, so
Definitely.
probably initially I got, maybe I'm probably doing that as you say, and then later I'll get on
Perfect.
to that certificate thing. Yeah.
Perfect.
Mm.
Are there any other questions I can answer?
Yeah, Paul.
Sorry, Paul. Soumya here. How are you going?
Hi. Yeah, good. Thank you. How are you?
Yeah, good.
Congratulations on your full license.
Yeah.
You got a full license, right? Congratulations.
Oh, yeah. Thanks.
Yeah, finally. Good stuff.
Yeah. So I'm working on my certificate 4. So
Yeah.
as far as certificate 4, once I finish, I become a member with FBAA.
Yeah.
And then for 2 years, I will be under mentoring. Is that right?
Yes.
So for these 2 years, I can't write any deal. Is that right? Or I can?
Of course you can. Yeah, that's the point. You can definitely write deal. You can definitely make money. 100%.
Okay, so while I'm doing mentoring under this someone, I can do the deal. I can write the mortgage and okay.
Yep.
And what will be the split in that case? So is there any split or 100% will be commission?
No, it's 80-80. That's the split.
88.
Yeah. But so with designers, obviously it's the highest commission slip you can possibly get. A typical example, it's very similar to real estate, like an Aussie home loan or Rams or Mortgage Choice. You'll see them, you know, there's a little shop, you know, somewhere, you know, with a window, very similar to a real estate agency, right? It's a franchise, very similar to a real estate, usually very small business, you know, 3-4 people, that kind of stuff. And again, you have to pay for the cost and rent and all that kind of stuff. Yep. And so the idea is very, very similar, right? Because you've got a business, you're going to make money, right? You're going to make money. But in brokering, there's even a less of a need for an office. I guarantee you, because all you have to do is go to someone's premises or meet a coffee shop, use one of their offices that we've got, like Regis or something, and just go for it. Yeah,
okay.
Just go for it. You don't really need an office.
Okay. So 80-20, you say 80-20, is it right? So 80 will be for myself and 20 will be the FBAA mentor.
Yeah, that's correct. That's
okay.
correct.
And after 2 years I finish, I don't need to split my commission. I just need to be member.
That's correct. That's correct. Yeah.
Okay.
So Paul, what do we pay you?
You don't pay me anything, man.
Wow.
we just want brokering brokers that comes in. And once you come in, obviously the leads that we have that we can feed you, right? That's also good too.
So the loan is actually the banker. It behind. So Oakbridge is actually a financial institution as well. Am I correct or not?
It's a private funder. Yeah, we hold the
private funder.
Credit license. Yeah.
Okay,
so that's kind of the idea.
At least you do get something, Paul. We feel better because what you give to us is really platform's good.
No,
okay.
The rest of this, the 20, just to be up and off, the rest of this was split with outsource. So the 20% and the 10% split outsource.
Okay.
And also a typical Aussie or Mortgage Choice is 50-50, just like a real estate. That's what I'm saying. Real estate is so similar to finance, yet not many people have the dual qualification. You know, I think everyone should get it. It's so easy. Everyone should get it.
So as soon as you get 80-20, like the upfront as well as the trial as well, right?
Yeah, that's great. Yeah.
Okay, 80-20. Oh, that's good. It's really good news.
So
thank you.
Paul, how long will it take to complete the whole process? Like once I give you the certificate 4, so how long will it take to set up the whole process?
We're fairly quick. The bottleneck is FBAA. Imagine FBAA is like fair trading. You know how slow fair trading is, right? Well, it's exactly the same thing. FBAA does checks on you. So it does police checks and a whole bunch of credit checks, another one. It takes time, these things, right? I would say maybe 2 weeks.
Now the whole process, how long will it take? Because I have already business up and running.
2 weeks.
So I just need to add this business. That's all. So how long will it take?
2 weeks.
2 weeks to start the whole process. Now, so how can I contact you? Like,
Call me.
Call you. What's your
call,
number?
You know my number. Give me a call. Give me a call anytime. Give me a call anytime. I'll text
Can
you.
Can you leave your number in the chat box so that I can write it down?
I will do that. I will do that. No problem.
Okay.
I will do that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. No
So
problem.
Paul,
Yeah.
once you do the certificate 4 and 2 years of mentoring, you become a full licensed broker. Is that right?
Yes.
Okay. Then after, you don't need to do any other course, just 2 years mentoring once you finish
Yes.
certificate 4, and then
That's
it will
right.
be full
That's right.
broker
Yeah.
license.
CPD.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yep. That's good.
Yeah. Just like real estate, you've got CPD requirements, but that's very easy, as you know. Watch a few videos, that kind of stuff. Yeah.
Okay. That's good. That's good.
Okay. If there's any other questions, I'm gonna exit and come back. I've got a few new agents I have to induct. But are there any questions? Look, email me. I'll put my phone number in the chat box here as well.
Yeah. Phone number and email address, please.
Yeah. And then you can text me or email me.
So Oxbridge does have office here in Melbourne or not, Paul?
100%. Yeah. So I don't know if you know this, but are you?
Where about your office located here?
So maybe Arjun, you can stay for the induction, and then because I think most people have done the induction before.
Okay.
The office, the model that we've done is we attach the Regis network, and we've just got WeWork as well.
Yeah.
So I don't know if you know how these things work, but every single member can access Regis, and Regis is everywhere, like literally everywhere.
Yeah.
I show people this all the time. It's in New York. You know, we've got an office in New York now, and we just attach the Regis network. There's no expensive setup cost.
Are you going to have an office in Vietnam, Paul?
I think there's I think
you should, because you have such a wonderful platform.
Oh no. I think there is offices in Vietnam as well for Regis. Regis is everywhere. Seriously, it's crazy. But that's the idea.
Who is Regis?
Also,
sorry, if you don't mind me asking, who is Regis?
It's the world's largest service office corporation.
Oh, okay.
Like WeWork, you know, WeWork.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So you know, I show people like our New York office attached to Regis, and it's
Oh,
crazy.
yeah. Just like
crazy.
just office. Now you can.
Yeah.
You don't
all the
have an
members,
office. Yep.
yeah, all the members can use the lounge.
Yep.
And that I think that's good enough, right? You if you want to book an office or a meeting room, you go for it. We get a discount anyway. But we've just signed on to WeWork as well, and WeWork is everywhere, like
wonderful,
everywhere, and that gives you flexibility, and so that's why we don't need the shop front. We don't have expensive shop fronts.
You're the man. You're the man.
What about that? But anyway, are there any other Sam? Yes, you can use any aggregator of your choice, no problems. As I said before, OutSource is just one platform. Sam, just give you an idea. Sam is very experienced. You just joined Sam. Yeah, Sam. We could do a shout out. Sam is very, very experienced, and obviously you've done brokering before, but you can use any aggregator you want.
Thank you, Paul.
Yeah.
All right. I will be on stand. I received a contract. Thank you for that. But that is all about OutSource. So I'm just going to disregard that.
It is. What I'll do. I'll send you another contract to a more generic one, because you've got the 2 years already, right?
No, I don't.
You don't have 2 years.
I don't have 2 years. It's funny how the industry works, and this will probably give some ammunition or information for others on the forum right now. New to industry, new to broking is different to new to industry. So you could have been a lender for 20-25 years, which I am. But when you want to do broking, if you have not done broking in 2 out of the last 5 years, you're considered new to broking.
Yeah.
So before you go to FBAA, and FBAA is very non-negotiable about this.
That's right. That's correct.
You must have a mentoring agreement with a mentor who is on their panel.
Yeah.
Not just unless you're going to go to someone like Aussie. So you must have a mentor.
Yeah.
And weigh up the costs associated with it, and
Yeah.
weigh up what you're getting out of it as
Yeah.
well, because
cool.
there are mentors out there. So you need to have that exercise done. So I have lined up all of that. I've done some homework, spoken to various people.
Yeah.
So I am 2 years. I have a mentor, so that's not the issue. I have an aggregator, so that's not the issue either. But for me now is to integrate with Oxbridge.
Yeah.
And try and see where the complements lies over there, and try and create some synergy there. So that's it. That's all for me.
Perfect. So can I just ask, do you pay for your mentorship is it Connective?
I do. No, sorry, I do pay for my, Connective is not my aggregator.
Oh, your AFG, sorry. So FG?
No, not AFG either. I'm going with a small boutique group out of New South Wales.
Okay.
But I did consider Connective and AFG, both of them, for various reasons. But you will find that in the industry, with the exception of people like OutSource or other smaller aggregators, they are not really taking on a lot of brokers at the moment, because the industry is trying to regulate more and more, and they're trying to funnel out inexperienced brokers.
Correct.
So the appetite to take on inexperienced brokers is few and far in between, with the exception of smaller aggregators. And that's where people like OutSource comes into play, because they are trying to build up significant volume and be a competitor to other aggregators.
Correct. Yeah.
So,
and I think Connective is quite expensive. I remember looking at the mentoring fees. It's crazy.
Connective does not have its own mentoring fees. Connective does have a panel of mentors,
but they charge you. They do charge you.
Virtually all mentors charge you out
they
there.
charge you thousands of dollars a year. I looked at it and go, oh my God, it's a lot of money.
Which is a point of contention that I have, and I'm in the process of writing up a paper to ASIC, because mentoring in its traditional sense never should be a paid exercise. So you never pay for a, you will pay for a coach. You'll pay for a business coach. You will pay for a success coach, which is all fantastic. But you never traditionally pay. But now the nature of the industry is that it has evolved, which also allows a pathway for older, more experienced brokers to transition out of brokering and into mentoring, and that becomes their career path. So there's a few of those out there, and that's their transition out of full-time broking. So there's a few of those that are doing that. So I would recommend highly either get onto MFAA's website or FBAA's website and go through the list of brokers, mentors that are there, and various different people will appeal to different others. Some will charge you a sign-up fee of ridiculous amounts of $2,000 just to sign up, and then you pay $400, $500 each month. Some will be a lot more. Some will be a lot more sensible, and you need to pick your mark for what you want from it and what they're willing to offer you. I would strongly advise to steer away from mentors who are sales coaches, because a mentor's function in this context is to teach you how to be a compliant broker, doing your due diligence and responsible lending. And that is the main function of a mentor in this context. If you need a success coach or a sales coach, you can get them separately, and they will cost you as little as $100 a month. And you can do that, and you don't need to pay a sign-up fee for that.
Well, our mentoring is free. Excellent. What I'm going to do now is, because I realize the time, we have another session at 12:30, so I got to hurry up. I'm going to run into the induction now. So if you're free to hang around, but if you're new to obviously Oxbridge, then hang around and I can go through the induction. But if you've done this before, ask me any questions, call me, email me about finance. But I think finance is a terrific opportunity for people to make extra money. It complements the real estate business very, very well. The cost of entry is not high at all. And then I think the potential for income is also very, very good. Okay, so I'm going to move on to my induction into Oxbridge. So if you want to leave, feel free to leave. If not, hang on. But basically, look, I'm going to run, I usually do this